Observers often group the modern Middle East into a single Arab bloc, but Iran sits entirely apart. It is a non-Arab plateau encircled by Sunni and Arab rivals. This permanent geographic isolation forces the civilization to rely on internal cohesion for survival. The foundation of that cohesion traces back to the 6th century BCE and the Achaemenid Empire. The Persians established a sophisticated administrative state that managed diverse territories through a specific model of tolerance rather than forced assimilation. That cultural sovereignty faced its greatest challenge during the 7th century Arab Islamic conquest. The military campaigns of the Arab armies entirely absorbed neighboring ancient civilizations. Cultures like Egypt and Syria, with their own deep histories, were linguistically and culturally Arabized in the aftermath. Persia, however, did not disappear. While the population adopted the new religion of Islam, they retained their core Iranian identity. This survival established the first pillar of modern Iranian strategy, a resilient cultural core that refuses to be assimilated by conquerors. To maintain their independence from the Arab caliphates, the people of the Iranian plateau clung to their native tongue. They adopted the Arabic script for writing, but they stubbornly preserved the grammar and vocabulary of Persian. This manuscript is the Shahnameh, Ferdowsi's 11th century 60,000-verse epic. Written in exclusively native Persian, it protected the language from Arabic dominance. It codified pre-Islamic myths, establishing figures like Rostam as the moral blueprint for Iran's martial tradition. By locking their history into a literary masterpiece, Iranians ensured their identity was immune to erasure. This linguistic barrier allowed Persian culture to persist, even as the political control of the plateau shifted between Arabs, Turks, and Mongols. In the year 1501, the Safavid dynasty wons to power, facing an expansionist Sunni Ottoman Empire to its west. The Safavids needed to unify the plateau against a much larger rival military force. The Safavids established an ideological border by adopting Twelver Shia Islam as the official state religion. This distinguished Iran from its neighbors and created a religious identity that was functionally separate from the Sunni Ottoman world. Twelver Shia theology holds that leadership belongs exclusively to the Prophet Muhammad's direct bloodline through a series of imams. It centers on the millenarian belief in the hidden Imam, a messianic figure who will eventually return to bring justice to the oppressed. This structure stands in contrast to mainstream Sunni Islam, which traditionally focuses on community consensus and the selection of leaders through the will of the faithful, rather than a divine bloodline. The Safavid decision provided Iran with its second pillar, a religio-nationalist identity. This new faith emphasized the struggle against tyranny and the honoring of martyrdom, themes that would define Iranian political life for the next 5 centuries. In the 20th century, the Western-backed Pahlavi dynasty attempted to dismantle this dual identity. The ruling Shahs pushed for rapid secular modernization, mimicking Western cultural norms while systematically restricting the influence of the Shia clergy. This tension peaked during the 1953 US and UK-led coup against Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh. After Mossadegh moved to nationalize Iran's oil, Western intelligence agencies overthrew him to reinstate the Shah, an act the Iranian public viewed as a violation of their national sovereignty. The Shah's regime leaned exclusively on the ancient Persian pillar of kingship, celebrating pre-Islamic history while violently suppressing the Shia religious pillar. This policy created a massive internal divide between the westernized elite and the religious majority. By attempting to sever the nation's religious history, the Shah created an ideological vacuum. The resulting societal anger united diverse groups against the monarchy, making a revolution inevitable. In 1979, that anger culminated in the Islamic Revolution. Massive protests led to the total collapse of the Pahlavi monarchy and the establishment of a new political order. Ayatollah Khomeini consolidated the new republic by synthesizing the two historical pillars. He merged Shia religious duty with fierce anti-imperialist nationalism, uniting the ancient Persian sense of sovereignty with the revolutionary fervor of the faith. This new synthesis was immediately tested by the devastating Iran-Iraq War. The conflict lasted 8 years, and Iran, isolated and under-equipped, had to rely on the religious mobilization of its population to repel the Iraqi invasion. The war taught Tehran that it could not win conventional conflicts against neighbors backed by Western military technology. The state's industrial and military infrastructure was simply too vulnerable to direct high-tech warfare. This realization led to the formation of the Quds Force and a shift in military doctrine. Instead of border defense, Iran focused on asymmetric warfare, training external partners to project power across the region. Today, this strategy is known as forward defense. It is designed to fight enemies as far from the Iranian plateau as possible, using a network of regional allies to ensure that no conflict occurs on Iranian soil. This strategy utilizes the axis of resistance, a network of non-state actors stretching through Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon. This map shows the demographics that provide the recruitment base for groups like Hezbollah, the Houthi rebels, and the PMF. These groups operate as an integrated alliance bound by shared theology and military interoperability. They are highly organized military forces, capable of conducting complex ground campaigns and long-range missile strikes. This interconnected network acts as a perimeter defense. By maintaining a presence on the borders of its regional rivals, Iran deters direct attacks against its own territory and nuclear facilities. Modern Iranian geopolitics is the latest iteration of a survival strategy developed over centuries. By merging its ancient cultural resilience with its 16th-century religious identity, the state has built a mechanism intended to protect the guarded domain from outside conquest.